For this video, I've used Car and Driver's top 25 best sellers in the United States and ran leases on all of them using July's rates and residuals. Just some disclaimers before I start. All these numbers are for July 2024 and all estimates expire at the end of the month. Actually, most of them expire right after Labor. They're all for 2024 model year vehicles unless I say otherwise. The deals are assuming 36 months and 12,000 miles a year. Also, the deals are assuming you're covering your dealer and state fees at start and won't include your state's sales tax. These numbers are assuming you've got a 720 FICO score. Lastly, I'm just some guy on YouTube at the end of the day. Please always do a bit of research to verify accuracy of these estimates and even try to do better. Diving right in. Starting off at number 25, the Ford Escape. Inventory has increased by a couple thousand units and the residual and money factor have both dropped. 49% residual and a 1.92% APR with a slightly lower money factor and residual. Our target payments are now $1 less than last month. $457 if you got it at the dealer's cost and about $515 if you paid full MSRP. At number 24 is the Subaru Forester. Although inventory is flying on the Forester, we managed to get 2,000 more units put on dealer lots versus last month. Huge residual drop this month, going from 62 to 59%. And the money factor went down to compensate the lease as well to a 0.00154. Our payment range would be at $436 at invoice and $499 at MSRP. Again, similar situation with the Ford Escape with regard to the program. At number 23 is the Mazda CX-5. Mazda CX-5 inventory continues to drop month over month, dropping now to a total of 17,500 units in the country. The money factor dropped a little bit because the residual also went down by 1%, but we also got $1,000 in rebates coming from Mazda to help us out. This brings our payments to $350 at invoice and $371 at full MSRP, a whole $25 cheaper than last month. How do I know residuals, rebates, invoice prices, and so on? Check out my cheat sheet in the description below. It'll show you how I scrape all this data using the public resources online. At number 22 is the Jeep Wrangler. Overwhelming amounts of Jeep Wrangler inventory, 23,000 units to nearly 27,000 this month. Brutally honest, you guys, there's way too many banks offering amazing deals on Wranglers and Grand Cherokees. On a $50,000 Wrangler or $60,000 Wrangler EV, shoot for between $400 and $500 a month as aggressively as you can. There's many buyers getting these numbers all over the country. At number 21 is the Subaru Crosstrek. Inventory has increased moderately, but the bad news is that the residual, like the Forester, dropped 3 points, yet Subaru, instead of lowering the money factor, decided to increase it. It's got a 67% residual this month and a 0.00297 money factor, bringing payments to $376 at invoice and $422 at MSRP. At number 20 is the Subaru Outback. Inventory dropped by close to 2,000 units this month, going down to 16,000 units roughly. You guessed it though, 3% residual drop just like the other models, but instead of going up, it went down with regard to the money factor, a drop in it, so a 58% residual and a 0.00125 money factor, giving us payments at invoice at $482 and at MSRP, we're at $559. At number 19 is the Toyota Highlander. It seems like Toyota isn't even producing any Highlanders anymore. 2,500 Highlanders and 800 of them are XLE all-wheel drives. Light decreases in both residual and money factor, bringing payments to $511 at dealer's invoice and $624 at full MSRP. It's just a few dollars more than last month if you closely inspect it. At number 18 is the Ford Explorer. This is weird, you guys. Ford had 33,000 units last month and now they're only showing 21,000. And it's almost like there's a lag in reporting sold units or something. The program is the exact same as last month. However, they added $800 in some lease cash. So your payment now at invoice is about $581, and at MSRP, it's about $635. Again, you guys, how I find all this information on my own is on my cheat sheet. You can access it by clicking the link in the description below. For 25 bucks, it's solid, and this price could change any day now. At number 17 is the Honda Accord. Accord inventory is back up this month, going up to 10,400 units, and 7,900 of those are the EX. Slight drop in both the money factor and residual, but we lost some incentives that were available up until July 4th. So our new payments are now at $362 at invoice and $408 at MSRP. At number 16 is the Civic. Civic inventory dropped once more this month, but inventory on the Sport increased. I think this could do with demand being higher on the lesser available trims. Now, residuals stayed the same. However, because we lost some dealer rebates, they lowered the money factor slightly, giving us a payment range of between $309 to $352 invoice to MSRP. At number 15 is the Hyundai Tucson. Inventory increased by 2,000 units, going to 13,200, with 4,100 of those being SEL all-wheel drives. We got a fat bump in lease cash, with Hyundai giving buyers $3,500 in my region for 36 months, a drop to 62% for the residual, and an increase to 0.00278 for the money factor. At invoice, we're at $327 and $360 if we got it at full MSRP. At number 14 is the Chevy Equinox, still roughly 14,000 units at the moment. We had a 2% residual drop, but hardly any noticeable change to the money factor. So our payment at invoice is $428, and at MSRP, we're at $471. At number 13 is the Toyota Corolla. Tiny little increase in inventory, going back up to 4,500 units this month. It's odd, but the residual went up on the Corolla to 58%, and the money factor did too, a tiny bit. Our payments are now at $349 at MSRP and $300 at invoice. At number 12 is the Tesla Model 3. The Model 3 is now leasing out at, check the Tesla website, per month at invoice, and check the Tesla website at full MSRP. At number 11 is the Toyota Tacoma. More units, baby. Tacoma inventory now up to 15,000 units across the US, and an SR5 is the most common you're going to find, claiming a third of the inventory. 2% residual drop and no change in the money factor, bringing payments up to $447 at invoice, and at MSRP, it's about $545. Use the cheat sheet to find out up-to-the-minute programs on any vehicle, trim, and zip code you need. At number 10 is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep has tons of inventory available and rebates coming from the manufacturer to the dealer. Again, you guys, plenty of folks telling us on the forums that they're seeing deals on limited gas models in the 400s and 4x's in the 300s. So pursue the most aggressive deal you can just by collecting as many quotes as possible and persisting on 400 or less per month. At number 9 is the Nissan Rogue. Guys, another huge rise in inventory to 33,000 units, but a fat drop of 5% on the residual, giving us now 62% and 0.00169 on the money factor. But we got some bonus cash in my region. At full MSRP, we're at $428. But at invoice, we're at $374. At number 8 is the Toyota Camry. Camry inventory rising because of the new 2025. And I actually want to quote you numbers for a 2025 today. With a program like this, it's pretty obvious Toyota is saying just buy it. It's really a foolish lease once you inspect it. It's got a 53% residual and a crazy 0.0033 money factor, making payments $459 at invoice and $553 at full MSRP. At number 7 is the GMC Sierra. The GMC Sierra saw a bit of a drop in inventory, going down to 36,000 units with a couple thousand more Denali's than Elevations. It's got the same program and same exact rebates as last month, so it's got the same exact payment this month. $662 at invoice and $763 at MSRP. However, there is about $1,000 in available Costco rebates if you're a member. Just FYI. At number 6 is the Honda CR-V. Inventory saw a dip last month, but quickly rebounded to 14,500 units. Same program as last month because the program expires on the 3rd of September. So to reiterate, $419 at invoice and $445 at MSRP. However, be on the lookout for special holiday rebates and incentives. At number 5, the Model Y. Insane lease deal at, check the Tesla website, per month. At number 4, the Toyota RAV4. Another modest little increase in inventory this month. Really no change though, with a 62% residual and a 0.00228 money factor, keeping payments at $450 at invoice and $518 at full MSRP. At number 3 is the Ram 1500. We lost some incentives this month on the Ram, yet the amount of inventory and program are pretty similar as last month. So at invoice, we're at $664, and at MSRP, we're at $782. But realistically, guys, shoot for more than just invoice price. I tell you guys in my videos, 10% off should be doable, no problem, landing you in the 500s. In my opinion, getting in the high 4s and low 5s is what my personal goal would be. At number 2 is the Chevy Silverado. 13,000 LTs out of a pool of 57,000 Silverados, which is another sharp dip in the inventory that Chevy is currently holding. Program is kind of terrible, not gonna lie. So at invoice, we'd be at about $617, and at MSRP, about $705. Last but not least, at number 1, the Ford F-150. Ford's got about 65,000 F-150s. We did see some drops and increases this month, and some lease cash changing payments to $612 at invoice and $698 at full MSRP. Just a heads up, pricing from local dealers as well as access to my cheat sheet is available in the description below. And if you found this information useful, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.